what would you do right now if like two robbers broke into my set right now?
Well, I would
What could you
watch.
do?
I would watch. I'm not gonna lie.
What up, everyone? Shakiel Mahjouri here for CBS Sports, and you know who this is. He is the UFC's third-ranked heavyweight contender, and coming off a big win at UFC 271, he can knock out fools about as fast as he can chug a beer. Tai Bam Bam Tuivasa, how are you?
What's happening, brother? Thanks for having me.
Thank you so much for doing this. Now, before we dig into everything, whether that be your big win over Derrick Lewis and what's to come, very quickly, guys, if you like what I'm doing, subscribe, thumbs up, notification bell, comment. I don't care what you comment. It's all for the algorithm. You can let me know what's the nastiest shoe you would do for $1,000. You know, it's just drive up those metrics. Always very much appreciated. And shout out to CBS Sports, as always, for empowering the video version of this. Now, Tai, before we get into UFC 271 and beyond, I have been screaming on Twitter about this for months now. When are we officially going to get the Tai Tuivasa Stone Cold Steve Austin crossover of my dreams?
That'd be cool because I actually grew up watching Steve Austin.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan. I'd love to down a beer with him. That's for sure.
Well, you saw that he gave you an A+ and a hell yeah in Shoey, right?
That's pretty cool, huh? Very cool.
I mean, the best I can say is I once got an autograph from Bret the Hitman Hart, and he was performing as Genie in the Aladdin production that came through Vancouver, Canada. So, little known fact about Bret Hart, yeah.
Wow, that's I didn't know that.
That's a weird one, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Got some deep cuts there. Hey, why did they take your shoe? Why did they like keep your shoey off the broadcast when you're celebrating on the cage? Because the photos are there, but I don't think it actually made it to the live pay-per-view.
I'm not sure.
At times.
Yeah, that's. I'm in there fighting, so I wasn't watching. I didn't get to watch it.
I mean, listen, the photo, the still was beautiful, but I know people are like, did he not do a shoey in the middle of the cage? But
I'm not sure.
yeah,
Actually, I haven't got to watch it yet, so
yeah,
not like that
so.
anyway.
Yeah. So always next time.
We'll
Now,
bring it up.
yeah. This is your brand, man. You got the new shoe. Dana White's on board. You know, make sure you take care of your property. Now, you are so I can't believe I'm going to say this. You are so intrinsically tied to feet at this point. I think you need your own like Pornhub category. What is the has there been a shoey that you have refused to do, or like is there a line that you won't cross when it comes to a shoey?
Oh, obviously there's a few lines, but I've crossed a few of them as well.
We didn't get the Derrick Lewis Cup, right?
Well, I would do it.
You're a brave man inside the octagon and in the kitchen, man. I have nothing but respect for it. Okay, so heavyweight's a bit of a mess if your name is not Tai Tuivasa. If you look down the top 10, you're the only guy on an active winning streak. Everyone else in the division, aside from Ngannou, of course, is either like 0-1, 0-2, 0-3, or at best 1-0. Who knows what's happening with John Jones? Who even knows what's happening with Ngannou these days? We never know if Stipe is coming back. What do you think is most realistic for your next fight?
It's a good question. I don't like to, I like to, people must think I sound like like a dickhead or something, but I don't really know. I don't, obviously I've heard the names that are there, you got Ciryl Gane and you've got Miocic and stuff like this, but man, I'm a fighter. I'm going to rock up and I'm going to fight any of them, and I'm always going to give it my best, but obviously Gane and Miocic are there. They're still on the roster and they're in front of me. I'm willing to crack on with any of them.
Yes. I mean, I honestly wouldn't be shocked if we're talking interim title fight at some point, and I think you'd have to be a lock-in for one of those.
It'd be pretty cool. I'd be walking around my belt around the area.
I love it. Would you, now I think considering the fact you're on such a big winning streak, especially with all via first or second round finishes, I wouldn't expect you to take someone behind you in the rankings, but let's say like Tom Aspinall puts on a show against Volkov. Is that a sort of fight that you'd still be willing to take?
I actually watched Tom Aspinall a little bit. Yeah, I'm a fan of his. And think I have to watch guys like that because we're in the same age limit. You know what I mean? There's a couple of the older fellas. They're heading on their way out. You know, so.
Yes. So I was hoping you keep going while I close that door and get noisy outside.
Yeah, I didn't know. You know what you were like. I thought you were gonna backdoor it.
Well, there's movie magic. I'd be. What would you do right now? Okay, you know what? We'll keep that in for the sake of keeping this fun. What would you do right now if like 2 robbers broke into my set right now?
Well, I would.
What
watch.
could you do?
I would watch. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie like I'm gonna turn the TV off and get scared. I would watch, and hopefully you'd grab a bottle and put it over their head or something.
Yeah,
but
I actually got a bunch. I think I got a bunch of katanas off camera. One of them I think might be real. So I don't like my chances, but you know I try. For you, knowing you're in my corner, Tai.
I'm not gonna lie. I would probably laugh a little bit as well. Because
would you at least give me some corner advice since you're in my ear?
Oh yeah, I'd fucking get him. Fucking get. But I couldn't help it through the screen. So
no, not. I mean, let alone halfway across the world. I'm gonna put my Ariel Helwani cap on for a second, and since I'm being honest and forthright, maybe it'll help me out. Maybe not. Whatever. Where are we at with the contracts? Are you due for a new contract soon?
Nah, okay. I'm good with I got a couple more left, okay. But I did just before the fight.
Mm-hmm. A video has been surfacing very recently. I think I saw about last week of Mark Hunt just giving it to you in a sparring session. Like, man, it might as well have been a sanctioned bout. What's it like sparring with Mark Hunt?
Obviously a lot of people know me and Mark's relationship. You know what I mean? He raised me in this game. He's the one who, I was in a bad spot in my life. Obviously, I've fought, my whole life, but he took me in. He took me around the world, and he showed me what this career could actually do for you. And he punched my face a lot along the way. So that's why when people ask me who hits you the hardest, I'm like, Mark Hunt is a legend, and he's known for it. And I was his sparring partner for years, and he punched the shit out of me for fucking years. So I know what it's like to be punched. It's nothing new, you know what I mean? So,
and what a punch that is. I mean, Mark Hunt is like top 3 all-time favorite fighters of mine. I agree. You kind of touched on it a little bit. Sorry?
I agree. He's number one for me.
Yeah, so. I imagine. You touched on it a little bit, but just what is it like being able to sit down with a guy like that and pick his brain and just sort of have him in your corner?
It helps massive. It's insight. It's like he's already done it before, and I just said this before. I like to listen to people who have done it. Yeah. I grew up all around a lot of talk and a lot of you should do this and should do that, but no one's ever really done it, you know what I mean? So then people shut the fuck up and you just listen to the people who have done it. So I agree. And he helps me out heaps, and not just the fighting, other things as well.
You ever see that, a skit? I don't know who put it out, but it's like a guy going out with a girl for the first time and the girl's trying to avoid introducing the boy to her dad, and, he opens up the door and there's Mark Hunt.
I've actually seen it, I think, years ago. Yes, I actually seen it. That's pretty funny.
Yeah, that'd be a scary proposition. I mean, he seems like a nice enough guy. But is it how much inspiration do you take from his UFC run? Because they didn't even want to pick up his contract after the UFC absorbed it, and it was obviously a rough start. And then, man, talk about turning things around all the way to a world title shot. Like, how much inspiration you draw from a run like that? Because you yourself have had a rough stretch in the UFC, and now we're seeing you just take off.
I'm drawn to him as a person than who we are as people. Fighting is what we do. It's about channeling it. And I think something with us, it's more like once we're kind of written off, it puts a bit of extra drive into what we do. Mm-hmm. And I just watched him, I've watched him just never give up and just keep going. It's been a massive help for me. So life's like that. Fuck, life's shit sometimes. And if you lay down and let it run over you, then you're gonna just keep getting shit, I suppose.
Well, I read a a piece that you wrote. I can't remember. It may have been for Sporting News about sort of your transition out of rugby into MMA and sort of the down parts of your life. What is something that the MMA environment has been able to give you in terms of helping you sort of work through things on a personal level that maybe you were having trouble finding in the rugby environment?
I can be myself. I get locked in a cage and punch someone's head in for entertainment. You know what I mean? Like, maybe there's a little bit, there's something wrong with all of us. You know what I mean? But
this is true.
Yeah, exactly. You know what I mean? People who are smart wouldn't, everyone has different wits about them. And I think with what I do now and what I used to do, there's a very different rule. Footballers have to listen to certain things. They can't act certain ways. Me, I can fight and I can be myself. This is, if I want to say something, I can say something. And if I cop backlash, then I cop it. But usually I cop love, so fuck it.
Well, I mean, listen, no better workplace than the UFC if you want to be able to speak your mind free of consequences. I mean, listen, if Sean Strickland can go on a murderous rampage, I think Tai Tuivasa is going to be just fine.
Exactly.
Now, I put up a Q&A thread. Shout out to Sure Dog. Someone was wondering, if you weren't in athletics, what do you think you'd be doing as a career?
No comment. Still punching people's heads in, that's for sure.
Well, I'm glad you're getting paid to do it right now. I apologize in advance for butchering the pronunciation, but you've got a pea tattoo, right? Which goes from your lower back down to your knees, basically. One, can you pronounce that for me so I can work on it? Watch the tape. Sorry?
Better. Like a P. It's very similar, but yeah. Better, yeah.
What is two parts? One, what is the significance of getting that tattoo? And B, going from your lower back to the knees, what was the most painful part on your body?
There wasn't a part that was not painful. And I consider myself like I'm pretty tough, but this is I would never do it again. But I'm glad I did do it and finished it. And the reason I got it for my mum.
Wow.
Obviously, there's different reasons people get it. You know what I mean? And there was when I was young, my uncle had it, and I asked her what it was, and she said, "Only real men get that." And I said, "I'm going to get that for you, just to try and, When I said it when I was a kid, and I stuck by my word, and I got it.
What's the tattooing process for those who don't know? Because this isn't like a regular everyday tattoo.
No. So it's for. Obviously, back in the day, it was for more chiefs, more higher hierarchy people in the village and stuff. But it's gotten a bit less. It carries a lot to do with it as well. And some of it, I'm a bit slacking, especially the language and the cultural, things. But that was the reason I got it. I got it for my mum, and that's why I did it. And I got it, and now I get to wear it and represent my people in front of the whole world, which is a big thing that I take, with a lot of pride.
Well, I love the mom nod. I am tattoo-less, but my dad takes poems in Farsi and Persian, and he turns them into like calligraphy art. And so he picked a poem that reminded him of my mom. I'm gonna get that somewhere on my shoulder. We'll figure it out. I've been meaning to see the doctor for something else for like 6 months. I'm terrible at procrastinating. We'll get it. And so I'm all in favor of the mom tattoos. As we wrap up here, just a couple quick things. One, this is such a stupid question that people submitted, but like multiple people asked. Is there a brand or a type of shoe that tastes better or is preferable for a shoey?
The dirtier, the better, I usually say.
When are these shoey bottles that you made? When are people going to get their hands on that?
Shoeyvasa, they've been selling out. They've all sold out twice.
Look at that. It's like a crock.
Yeah, it's just a plastic mold of a shoe, and you put the beer in, and it makes the beer go fast. It's like a beer bong, and you get into it and get the party started.
I don't know if John Anik is to credit for the name Shoeyvasa, but if he is he getting a royalty on this?
No, that's me. I get all royalties.
I love it. Look at that, man. Businessman through and through. Okay, Ty, last thing before I let you go to. How does Carlos Felipe keep popping? How does he keep failing these drug tests?
Who's that? Oh my gosh, not that fucking Brazilian. You tell me. Fucking what? What are the body on him? How do you get done for that? Is he kidding himself? I don't know. I don't know. It's like me getting done for steroids or something. And you think, what the fuck? Where? I'd be going back to the dealer and asking for a refund. That's for sure. But anyway, he's a loser. So,
I mean, vitriol aside, no better note to end on. Just I was scrolling through your Instagram. I couldn't help myself. Tai, I want to leave you with the last word. I'm glad you got the Shoeyvasa on deck in case you want to give it a nice promo. But before I let you wrap things up, I'm going to do my part. Guys, thank you so much for checking out the video. As always, if you can, subscribe, notification bell, thumbs up, comment. All that helps get this in front of more and more people. Tai Tuivasa would thank you too. But, oh yeah, and also thank you to CBS Sports for empowering the video written feature on cbssports.com in the bio. Tai Tuivasa, Mr. Bam Bam, top 3 heavyweight. That sounds nice. Anything you want to let the people know, Shoeyvasa, career moves, whatever you like, please let them know.
Get amongst the guys, like and subscribe. SHAFTA.